Hi everyone, and welcome to my first League of Legends games commentary. My name is Phil, and what I aim to do with this video today is to try to present you different playstyles in League of Legends than what we're used to see in the current meta. But before I do that, just a quick presentation and why I'm doing this. So I have been playing League of Legends for almost 2 years now. I am a good ELO player. I'm around 1600, 1700, depending on my luck in solo queue. And I decided to try to share some of my knowledge with some people who might not be as familiar as I am with this game. Why am I doing that? The main reason is because I myself learn a lot from the good shoutcaster available on YouTube, such as Shula or Corby Cheese, which are my two favorites. By the way, this video will be strongly based on the structure that Shula used for his own video, because I found that it is the most instructive and the most precise way to present a good gameplay commentary as well as a quick guide on how to play some lanes and champions. So for this game, I'm playing alongside one of my good friends, Gerald Tremblay, who is going for Yorick, and me, I'm playing Jarvan. Together we decided to play a setup generally known as a kill lane in the bot lane versus a Caitlyn AD range carry and a support Alistar. So this game is not a ranked one. Me and Gerald prefer to play normal games together because we found them more casual. But if this video receive good comments and you would like to see me commentate on my own ranked games, I would be very happy to do it. Since many of you want to have to improve your ELO and your general knowledge and understanding of the game. So for now we are waiting for the game to load, and after that I will present some details on how to start your build in a kill lane and what are your main objectives if you want to win the game running this kind of setup. So first of all, I would like to point out that if you haven't noticed yet, my first language is not English. Indeed, I mainly speak French, and although my understanding of English is okay, my speaking should be, I would try to be as clear as possible so that you guys understand me, but please do not be too harsh on my grammar and my pronunciation, although I will do my best to do it as professionally as possible. So for now the game is starting, and as you can see there are some little bugs on the LOL replay client. So for the first minute we will just see some character wandering around, walking nowhere, and generally a little bit buggy, but I can assure you after maybe 1 minute, 1 minute 30, everything should be alright. So for now, what me and Gerald Tremblay thought was that we didn't want to run a traditional bot lane, that is the support range carry bot lane, because although it's a very efficient and competitive way to play a bot lane, both of us don't really know how to do either role in this matchup. What we really like to do in this in League of Legends is actually to run some CC and tanky DPS kill lanes, because that's what we were most used to play when we started playing the game 2 years ago, and that's before the range carry meta started. So that's what was our plan. So although the strategy is different than the range carry, you have to keep in mind that it is normally not as effective, especially in competitive play where player never make mistakes and always have perfect positioning and timing, and that their jungler is always aware of when he can gank the bot lane. Indeed, when you're running a kill lane, one of the main weakness is that you have no support or who will make his job of warding the river. So although you can buy ward yourself, it's usually more effective to just dedicate a support to do it and have the carry just worries about farming and getting into mid-late games so he can do all the damage a range carry needs to do to actually win the games. I'll just remove the frap counter. So why is Jarvan and Yorick working as a killing? Jarvan is generally known as a good killing partner, like in the Taric or Leona Jarvan lane. Yorick, maybe not as good, but still he has a decent CC and harass, and his general tankiness synergizes well with the available CC of Jarvan. So here the lineup is starting. So as you can see, Caitlyn doing the right thing, trying to see what kind of play we're looking for, if we're going to be aggressive in the early game. And as you can see, we're kind of passive, just focusing on getting last hit. I told Gerald Tremblay to focus on farming because I think that Jarvan as a character doesn't need a lot of farm to be efficient, since his passive gives him very good DPS without items, and he has so much CC in his kit that he can be very effective even without big damage item. In this, generally when you run a kill lane, you plan to farm as much as possible, but your main goal is to kill the enemy champion and deny them farm. Indeed, if you can prevent Caitlyn from getting into the late game, that's when the kill lane setup shines. Also, you really want to get ahead in your lane, and there's no better way to do that than try to aim for the first butt. So as you see, me and Gerald are trying to get Caitlyn, and with my harass combo and we're easily able to get her to about 1/4 of her HP. With Alistar as one of his skill is heal, so if we do not make something happen soon, Caitlyn will be alright and be able to continue farming as well as getting healed. So we decide to really push the lane hard so we can dive her at level 3. This is a really risky move, but since Caitlyn is so low and that Gerald Tremblay has heal and I have Ignite, we can try it. So as you can see, I ping it and I do my combo. She flash away, but I follow up with my flash and use Ignite. That's one of the biggest strengths of Ignite. If you use Ignite to finish off a character early game, it can really put you ahead. When you get to mid and late game, Ignite is not as good, but that's the kind of trade-off you must look for when you're trying to decide what kind of lane you want to run. So for now, Caitlyn has been effectively killed, and this is really helping us out in following in the CS. As you can see right now, I'm at 7 CS and Gerald is at 14, and Caitlyn is only at 7 too, but we're still trying to keep good damage on this Alistar, but he does a good job of landing his pulverize and then endbutting me in the tower, forcing me to pop many of my health potion to keep me in lane a little bit longer. So right now I see that we're really pushed to the tower and that we have no ward. So as I said, we are very vulnerable to a gank. So I'm telling my friend to back with me to go by, and he decides to do it. But at one point he says, oh, I can still get some farm, but he preferred to run back and TP in the other bush. But as you can see, he wasted a little bit too much time and then he gets caught. He has to pop both his summoner heal and his flash to get away, although only the flash would have been enough, considering the fact that Alistar and Skarner are not real damage dealer. So as you can see, On my first trip back, my priority was to build Ninja Tabi. Why? Because when you're running a kill lane versus a range carry and a support, usually you want to counter the range carry damage so that you can tank, if you wish, the harassment damage. So Ninja Tabi are good, cheap boots that gives you movement 2 and a lot of damage reduction. Roughly, I could say, let's say 15 to 20% depending on your current armor level of the range carry damage. So that really pays off when you're harassing and trying to trade with him. So right now I'm alone, so I really don't want to engage. Although Caitlyn isn't doing as much damage as she could, the CC from Alistar makes it really inefficient to try to trade off with that. Now Gerald has come back, and as you can see, we're looking to try to engage on them. Gerald landing some ghouls, just one of the strength of Yorick, able to spam ghouls and land some free reliable harassment. But as you can see, they are playing very safe. I think they warded this river, but they really don't want to engage. So right here, right now, I'm trying to engage, but Alistar does a good job of pulverizing me, and I'm not able to follow up with my CC. He burned his flash to get away, but I don't think that he should have, because he was very close to the tower and still had almost half his health, so not really necessary there. So right now we're still looking to try to make a play on them, but as you can see, there's a big wave of minion here, so it's not really efficient to try to engage. We really want to farm this minion waves to get the gold, and after that try to follow up with some good harassment and trying to get kills. Why is that? Because usually you see this mistake being done by a lot of new players and maybe some lower ELO. It's that people underestimate the strength of farm. You must realize that getting a kill is equivalent to at least getting 10 or 15 minion CS. That's something I learned and years ago when I was watching Shula and Colby Cheese commentating on their game, and believe me, I really saw the difference once I started to not forget about my farm and really know when to trade and when to just go back and take the gold from the minions. So as you can see here, I use my flagpole to see if Caitlyn was there, and effectively she was there. Put a trap here, very good move. Caitlyn traps really help controlling your lane if you can put them in this spot, and maybe here too. So very good move from Caitlyn. So as you can see now, we did a poor job of controlling the minions, and now they are very strongly pushing back. But here we go. Now that we know that we can do something, we try to engage a Caitlyn, but she managed to net away. But as you can see, we're still harassing, and we managed to do a fairly good trade with them, where the two of us are almost full health, and the two of them are almost half health. So as you can see right now, the Ninja Tabi on me are really paying off, and the armor from the Doran shield also good. As you can see, oh, and now trying to do an engage, I get once again pulverized, and I have to flash away. I barely made out alive of this move. Very good move from this Alistar. You will see in this game, this player really knows how to see an opportunity to headbutt any player into a bad position, and that wasn't very good for me. But I'm still very lucky and able to make it out alive, and now I'm back home to get some gold per 5 item, because as I said in the beginning of the video, I am really not aiming at getting that much farm in the early game. I really want to be able to focus on harassing and getting kills, while Yorick focus on getting the farm. And this is why I'm getting gold per 5 item. I prefer to start with the Philosopher's Stone, because it gives you medium substain, I will say, and since we really want to trade off with Alistar and Caitlyn, this is a really good idea. So right here I was looking to engage on them, but I stepped like a noob on a trap, and they just I think they already had back, but still, you really want to be careful when you enter a bush and with a Caitlyn in the bot lane. So right now I'm seeing that bot lane is MIA and that Gerald Tremblay can farm relatively safely, and I also see that our jungler Gangplank was just killed in a gank. So I decided to just back, leave some solo experience to my friend, and go get Golem's experience and gold. Also, I'm seeing a fight happening at mid where Skarner and Bran are exchanging. Skarner is pretty low, and I think I can kill him if I can just CC him. And I go and oh, and he flashed over the wall. When you start playing League of Legends, you really notice how strong Flash is, and this has been consistent over the last 2 years I've been playing. Flash is a strong spell. For new players, this can appear very, very frustrating because you really enjoy getting kills, but Flash denies you kills. So, but you'll get used to it, and in time you'll learn that using Flash as an escape skills is not really the most efficient way. This is why in the beginning when I was playing, I was viewing Flash as a source of frustration, but right now I'm using it much more to catch up people who uses Flash to get away, to initiate with some character that needs it, or just to tower dive more effectively by getting in, killing the enemy champion and flashing away from the turret range. So for now, just get used to that. If you burn a flash, it's almost as good as getting a kill, and you'll find it much less frustrating. So right now we know that we have the advantage in the lane, because we in the early game, in mid game, tanky DPS are much stronger than range carry in terms of damage. So we're looking to follow up on Alistar. He popped his ult late, flash away, but still, as you can see, Gerald Tremblay chasing, flashing over, following Alistar solo, and then he gets the kill. But as you can see, Caitlyn is able to do a good job and finish him off. But because he halted, he's able to continue to fight for a little while, so we decide to engage on Caitlyn, get her very, very, very low, but she flashed away just as his clone finished, and then pop her ghost to get away. So when I saw that her ghost was popped, I decided to just back off because she would really be able to outmaneuver me. But she decided to stay here a little longer, but I missed my EQ combo and decided that because the minion wave is so is pushing back, and that the tower would have shot me, that it wouldn't be very smart to stay here. And as you could see too, Katarina just came in, so it was a good judgment call. You really have to, when you're starting to play League of Legends, you really have to learn to make calls, to know, am I able to am I able to do what I want to do? Am I able to dive Caitlyn, get a kill, and get out of there? Sometimes it's more efficient to just go safe and say, oh no, I'm not really confident about my skill level, I'm sure I'll screw up and get double kill in the early game. But sometimes it's also worth it, even if you die, because you can then, if you kill the enemy range carry, you deny them farm, and also you're able sometimes to push the tower, to push the minion wave to the tower, denying them even more farm than usual. So that can help you. Get ahead in your lane. So for now, Caitlyn just back, and as you can see, I wanted to do the double golem, but I see some counter jungling from Skarner, but I'm able to steal both the golem with my pole. Also, I would like to take a few seconds to describe my build on Jarvan. If you want to try a killing with your friends, you can do it with Yorick, just as in this video, but it works really well with character like Leona, like Taric, like I'll be back on that in a minute. As you can see, we catch Alistar, and I know that his flash is down since he used it a few minutes ago. So I pop my ult and trap him inside, and then we're able to just DPS him down even if he had his ult up. So seeing that Skarner is top, and that we just killed the support, and even Fizz and Katarina are top, the three of us are really looking to get the dragon. So restart the dragon and do it quite easily. This is a good thing you have to learn when you play solo queue. You have to learn to make the judgment call, to capitalize on every little play you can make that puts you ahead. So right here, we could have just gone back to farm and forget about the dragon, but looking at the map, we were able to identify the good opportunity to do the dragon, which is equivalent to a lot of gold. And if you watch a lot of stream or competitive replays, you'll notice that most teams don't get ahead with just kills. They really need to get the objective. And I in many of my games since I started playing, I realized that sometimes you can really stay in the game even if you're, let's say, 0-5, if you can take every single dragon and time them and keep up in farm and gold with the enemy team. By the way, if you didn't know, the timer on the dragon is 6 minutes. So you can it's always a good idea in solo queue to time it for your partner and try to make play based on that. So as you can see, we're able to do a quick kill on Alistar, but that's only because he died 3 times. So he's as a support, you don't want to die. That's something I learned from Shula. And why is that? Because support don't get gold, and support are not really looking to get kills. So if you die, you're really gonna feel it in the late game. You'll really be squishy and effectively turning every team fight where you can't land your skills effectively into a 4v5 because you'll just instantly die. So for now the creep wave is pushing, but as you can see, Caitlyn is alone and we try to engage on her. We slow her, she nets, and she's able to make a way. But as you can see, she's really low, so we could make a play. But since I'm half health and low on mana, we decide to back. So what am I doing when I'm playing Jarvan in the kill lane? There are 4 skills that he has, and personally I prefer to max E first because it gives you armor, attack speed, and a good poke with solid range that's pretty easy to land. You really want to max the skills first because the armor and attack speeds really helps you and your teammates do more DPS on the range carry and support lane. After that, I try to max Q second because in the mid game you want to try to deny as much as the defenses of the enemy players that you can. So Q, when you level it, you really get some good armor reduction, and the way armor penetration and reduction works means that it's very efficient to have armor penetration item and using your Q to deny armor. So as you can see here, Caitlyn is overpushed, but she once again managed to net away. Caitlyn really good at getting out, but as you can see, Alistar decided to stay a little while longer and pop his ult and his heal while Caitlyn is shooting Jarvan Tremblay. But as you can see, he's really tanky and pop his own heal, and even though everything is was looking bad for us, especially with this Carnage, we're able to really turn this around, especially with Gangplank and Bran coming in to help us. Even a teleport from Pantheon, although it was a little bit silly to waste the teleport here because it was not very well timed and will leave this top tower very vulnerable to getting destroyed by this fifth player. So right now we're 5 at bot. Not the most efficient play, but still not that bad. So as Jarvan, as I was saying, you want to like I said, we managed to get the tower and push them back, capitalize on every little play you can make. We steal their blue. Stealing the blue is very important when you're playing in solo queue, because right now the trend is usually to run a manaless jungler and give all the blue buff to the solo mid's AP carry so that he can carry the win his lane. As you can see, Pantheon doing a nice jump, able to catch Katarina, but still the 4 of us are easily able to secure the kill. By the way, if you look at this Katarina score, she's currently 0-4-0. So I don't know if you have a lot of experience playing with Katarina player, but for me, I usually see, let's say 80% of the Katarina player failed horribly like that their lane, and 20% just destroying our entire enemy teams. So Why is that? Because Katarina, her kit is basically based around big high risk, high reward character. So as you can see here, we tried to catch Pantheon, tried to kill this Fizz, but he's really strong right now. So even if the Gerald Tremblay was here to support, he's able to kill him before trying to run away. But as you can see, not able to dodge the stun from Brand and getting killed. I didn't even have the time to land my ball to get an assist. So as I was saying, Katarina, a really risky character, a really risky solo mid champ. She is viable in the end of some good players at IELO. I saw some good Katarina play from 1900 ELO player, but usually when you see a Katarina player in a ranked game, you have to know that if she loses, let's say her first kill in her mid lane, if she loses her lane, it will be very hard to get back from that. So right now, the game is looking in our favor. The score is not that bad for now, but what's really putting us ahead is this Brand and me and Yorick able to dominate our lane so far. Caitlyn is still doing a very good job of keeping up this farm, and that's a very, very good play, because being killed and losing your lane so hard and still having 111 CS at 20 minutes is very good range carry AD play. And if this Katarina would have been able to just keep up and not die that often, I'm sure the game would have been much more closer than what it is right now. But still the enemy team still got their chance, because since we're not winning range carry, this really hurts us, especially in the late game, where having a range carry helps you push towers and get kills and just win the general team fight. For right now, Katarina making a terrible play, a common mistake by low ELO player, trying to seeing some people of the enemy teams trying to in this area, being in mid lane and going by this route to be able to gank them if you wish, but usually there will be someone, maybe 2% hidden in this bush, so you really don't want to do that. If you don't have vision here and you see some people trying to push, just go this way around. Much more safer, especially if you're not ahead. So as you can see, Pantheon diving, and we're able to quickly burst down the Caitlyn, but that's because I have a lot of burst combined with Pantheon. But as you can see, even though we got a kill, we decide to do a crazy dive on the Skarner. Not the best choice, but I'm still able to stop the aggro from the tower, and he's very low, and Yorick is able to finish him off. So as you can see here, we don't want to keep fighting, because even though we're still ahead, the tower could kill us. But as you can see, Katarina, not very the smartest play, and she's just so weak. We're able to easily kill her without even trying. So right now, what am I looking after maxing my E and my Q? I want a early point in W, but I want to max this kill last, because it's more useful as a CC, a light CC early game, and late game you really want the extra toughness that it gives you against Ignite, against Karthus ult, against general DPS. So max E, then Q, put 1 point in W at level 4, and then always max your ult. If you want to try to play Jarvan, you'll quickly see that your ult, although it's not a very complicated ult, you have to make the right call when to use it. Personally, if you're just starting to play Jarvan or not really good with it, I would suggest that you use your ult only as a finisher move and a gap closer when chasing enemy or when you want to burst down someone. Don't try to use it to do more advanced stuff, such as trapping the range carry in a team fight early, trapping a range carry, or trying to mess up the positioning of the enemy teams and all that stuff. So for now, what am I building? As you can see, I'm building the Art of Gold on a 3 gold per 5 item. I'm still keeping my Ninja Tabby, because I don't see the point right now to to sell them and take merc trade, because that's also a thing I learned or two. Usually people like Jarvan will just pick early on merc trades, but merc trades are not the most useful boots early game, especially if you're running against a low CC team bot lane. So right now, me personally, I like is take the best boot early game, and if in later team fight I'm tired of getting stunned, then I get merc threats. You only lose about 300 golds in the process, but it's really worth it if you can make good plays out of it. So right now, a little team fight that is going on. I see that Bren is getting ulted, a really nice ult, but low mana gets insta kill. I now focus the high damage priority target, Fizz, and then as I see Caitlyn, I could continue to hit Alistar and Skarner, but since there are so few, they do so few DPS, I prefer to just chase off Caitlyn, and she pops or goes, but Alistar almost helps me get the kill, so that's really funny. But at this moment, Alistar is just little bit pushed too far ahead, and your Gerald Tremblay is able to land one of his slow ghouls, and then Pantheon follow up with a stun, and we're able to easily burst him down. So right now, after building my 2 gold per 5, I usually go for early brutalizer because it's really good on Jarvan. You really want that armor penetration. By the way, I'm using a full armor penetration, quintessence, and marks build because for me, the passive of Jarvan is his main source of damage, and you really want to use armor penetration because that's the only stats in the game that scale with your passive. Also, R is physical damage, so another good burst that you can get, and his Q does reduction percentage armor penetration. So usually I could go using mathematics and show you that it's really efficient to have armor penetration item and armor reduction skills, but for now just trust me on this one. Okay, so after that, what I usually chose to build was to try the new aura item. I think that Ziki Zerald is really a fun and good item because it helps your team sustain more in team fight, and also it's not really that costly. So as you can see right now, trying to catch Fizz, forcing him to burn his flash, and it's always worth it to use your ult to burn flash because you'll still do damage and still be able to get to get your ult in just 1 minute. So right here we're doing a good fight. It's really close. As you can see, Caitlyn able to do some good damage, and it looks like everything is not looking that good. I'm solo, I don't want to engage. Yorick able to chase down Alistar. I wouldn't have done that. I would have preferred that he pounced on this Caitlyn. But as you can see, that big burst that I'm doing, even though I'm not really building damage, and right now we're just running them down, and as you can see, Skarner solo. And then at this point only Alistar is left, and I try to run him down. So he found a good move from that one, and then he decided to pop his Shirley. But as is usually the case in normal game, people won't want to drag this on any longer, so they just decide to surrender, and it's not that bad. So right now we're just going to wrap this run one up, and discuss about the late game stage, the late game finishing of this game. So that's it. So I didn't take a screenshot of the last game of the score, but if I make a resume about it, you can see that the main point was us really getting ahead in the bot lane in comparison to Caitlyn and Alistar, and middle lane really failing hard versus our brand, which got really stunned. But still, I thought that the enemy team could have played better, and if it wouldn't have been a normal game, I'm sure it would have gone for a few more minutes before before the game finished. So for now, Feel free to leave any comment you have. I'm really open to anything, to any critics, as long as it's done in a constructive and respectful manner. And I really hope to have the occasion of making more videos for you guys, trying to show you new ways to play League of Legends than what you're used to know so far. So thank you and have a nice day.